Welcome to the Be Bold Show. My name is Crystal Jeanne. Happy Independence Day. Now, on the 6th of March 1957, Ghana was the first sub-Saharan country to gain its independence. Our first Prime Minister, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, said on this day, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. So happy Independence Day. We're certainly proud of our 54 years. Now, also, on 2 days from now, we're also going to be celebrating our International Women's Day all across the world. On this special day, what happens is men actually give gifts to their mothers, to their sisters, to their beloved women, and so forth. So we will be having a discussion on our special day. Now, in studio with us, we have Miss Margaret Owusu, who is the managing partner at Law Consortium. Thank you for joining us in studio today.
Thanks for having me, Crystal.
Yeah, so on this special day, we're 54 years old. Any thoughts on how far we've gotten as a country?
Well, I think that as the saying goes, Rome was not built in a day. And so we are making strides in the right direction. And once we have democracy and people have their say, I'm sure we'll get there one day. Yeah. I think we've gone far enough.
Yeah. And do you think as a nation we have a lot of things that we still need to work on?
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, you never cease to learn, even as an individual. And I think as a nation we continue to learn from our mistakes. And each time we have election, change people who are at the head of affairs, things will change. And I think we would finally get where we want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, so happy Independence Day to you.
Same to you, Crystal.
All right, so can you tell me exactly what is a Law Consortium?
Well, Law Consortium is a boutique, I call it a boutique law firm, where you can come there and be given an array of legal services. And the unique thing about Law Consortium is that we are very small, so we have attention to detail, and we're able to give good customer service to our clients.
And what motivated you to get into this area?
Well, you know, as growing up, you watch shows like the Perry Mason's show, and you're fascinated by how these big legal minds argue their way out of stuff and solve a lot of these legal problems. And I was fascinated by that, and I decided that, well, this is where I want to be, and then I pursued my law course.
So is this something you've always wanted to do since you were...
Well, actually, no. I wanted to be a doctor in the beginning. But when I got to Form 3, my teachers thought that my science wasn't that strong. Yeah. It was strong, but not that strong, as strong as my arts. And advised me to do my arts, to go for the arts. So I decided to do law instead, because doctor, lawyer, so I went for a lawyer. So that's
very different, though.
Very different. In fact, I was very sad when I couldn't be a doctor, but I'm happy now that I chose to do law.
Yeah. Now, law is also a very male-dominating area of, of profession. Is that still the case now? And how do you go over these hurdles?
Well, in our part of the world, if you're a woman in any profession, it's difficult. And I think law is no exception. It's always been a male-dominated field, as you said. Well, you push through. You learn your stuff. When you're on your feet in court, you are very authoritative, and you make sure that people know that you know your stuff, and they tend to respect you. And so being a woman and a man, it doesn't matter, because in the court of law, it is what you speak. It's the law that you talk in front of a judge that makes you a lawyer. It's not being a woman or a man. Yeah. So when you are in front of a judge and you are able to articulate yourself and at the same time speak the relevant law, people tend to look and say, all right. And they forget that you're a woman or a man. So I think although it's male dominated, we are trying as women to make our mark, and I think we're doing very well.
Have you had a situation where you felt maybe as a woman that a male judge or a lawyer that's a male has sort of discriminated against you just because of your gender?
Not really, but I think what happens most of the time is that when you are, especially in a negotiation setting, you're trying to put your case across, people think that women are emotional. So when you're being very emotional about your point, then you say, oh, don't bring emotions here. This is not emotional. I mean, you are being a woman. They tend to throw in things like that to put you off. But I am not put off by that. I just continue along my line of argument and I go on with it.
So don't pay no mind to them.
No. So I think that it's little subtle things like that. You don't really face, I don't think we face discrimination head on, like in your face. But there are little things that people will say, oh, she's a woman, oh, maybe when they see your structure, or maybe you're this young woman, they try and play you down. But you just need to go on with your stuff, speak your law, and then move on.
Yes. Now, what does it mean to be a woman today in Ghana?
Well, that's a big question. Well, women are now being more assertive because we think that what men can do, we can do better. And in this part of the world, I think that women are the mainstay of families. A lot of women do 3, 4 things to help maintain the home. Apart from being a professional, you have some women sell other things to support the family. Some women bake, do dressmaking, in addition to their professional work. So to be a woman today is not like the woman of yesterday. You know, women before, we are put down and we are not very assertive and we couldn't come out of our shells to be who we wanted to be. But nowadays, I think women are stepping forward to bring to the fore what they can do. And I think it's showing all over the country. There are very wonderful women in great positions here in our country. The Speaker is a woman. The Chief Justice is a woman. The Attorney General before was a woman. And I think that women are getting there.
Now, how do you balance your career with your family?
Well, I think that it's really difficult. I would not say it's easy. But for me, I think that I have a very supportive family. My husband is very supportive of what I do. As I said, I don't only do law. I think most women do 2 or 3 things. And I have a little business that I run on the side. And my husband encourages me and gives me all the support I need. So if I come from the law firm, I go through my office or my shop, and I come home late when I'm taking stock. Sometimes I'm in the office for hours, and my husband is supportive of that, and I have great children and great close-knit family. So I think that has helped me balance my career with my family life. But it's by no means easy. It's really difficult. You need to have like a juggling act to do all the things at the same time, make sure that everybody is happy, because you have to keep your husband happy, your children happy, your staff happy, and your clients happy. So it's not an easy thing, but I think I'm managing.
Back in the day, women would have children first, you know, early ages, 21, 22, even younger. But now these days, the trend is that, you know, people are going towards their career and that before they start having families. So what do you think attributes to this trend?
I think it's a desire or a zeal to be professional women. Because to be a professional woman, you need to achieve all your goals and be at your ultimate best. And to do that, you need to go to school, get all the necessary degrees and expertise and training. And I think that takes a lot of time. And so unlike the earlier times where women would just probably go to Form 5 and become a teacher, or don't need a lot of years in school, they were able to have their children earlier, and they were satisfied with that. But now we want more. Women want more. We want to be at the best, at the top of everything we do, and you need to sacrifice. So you can't have both. You know, you need to sacrifice that, or unless you decide to have the child and then go on for that. But that also becomes a problem, because once you start having the children, it becomes more difficult to go back to school and then put your elbow and grind the wheel or whatever they call it. So I think that women now think that, okay, I will finish with what I want to do, and then have time to have my kids. So I think that's why it takes longer for women now to have their kids than before.
Now, the theme for this year's International Women's Day is Equal Access to Education, Training in Science and Technology, Pathway to Decent Work for Women. Where do we stand as a nation?
Well, I think that where women are concerned, we still have a very long way to go. We often hear about the girl child, education of the girl child. I think it's very important. I think education is key. That we need to educate every female child, because once you are educated, you are empowered. And I think that as a nation, we have not gotten to where we have to be. But I think that with the putting up the correct structures, the educational structures, getting more children, especially girls, into school to learn, then we can get more professional women. We can get more women who are willing to be in the science, in the arts, anywhere you choose to be. Once you are given the necessary tools to work with, I think women are very, very assertive. Women, normally it's said that women are they can do 2-3 things at the same time. So getting a woman into the classroom and giving her all she needs to have the ability to, form. Yes. So I think that we are getting there. I mean, it's taking longer than it should, but we are getting there.
Now, my last question to you, since it's Independence Day also, is to find out, do you think Ghana will be ready for a female president anytime soon?
Well, let's hope so. I don't think in the nearest future is going to happen. But I think maybe 10 years from now, that is my opinion. I think that people, even in the more developed nations, people are a bit skeptical about women becoming president. But I think that eventually, as more and more women become president, like President Salif of Liberia, more women become president, Ghanaians will now see that, yes, it's possible. And a woman will step up, because even in politics, women are shying a lot away from politics in Ghana. And I think that you need to be in politics before you become a president. So I think that with time, people would accept that we should all build this nation of ours, whether female or male. And then one person would take the bold step and we all follow.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owusu, for joining us here in studio.
It's my pleasure.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment.